Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that okay?
Yes. The music is really loud on my end. I don't know if it is on their end though.
Probably.
Good morning. Good morning, you all. Thank you for being on time. Good morning. You all, we are working from packet 5 for ELA. You guys will need something to write with, as well as 2 to 3 sheets of paper if you do not have a packet. If you have a packet, go ahead and take that packet out. Good morning. Hello. Again, we are working from packet 5, and you guys need something to write with. If you do not have your packet, you will need at least 2 to 3 sheets of paper. Thank you guys for being on time. Good morning.
It looks like it says week 5. Sorry.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Let your friends know class has started. We're going to get started in about 1 minute. Good morning.
Touch base with your friends. Remember, friends do not let friends miss live lessons. We will be looking for volunteers, so make sure that once you have completed the do now, that you give us a thumbs up to let us know that you are ready to share. You are also welcome to share your responses in the comment section. And please make sure that all comments are related to our content and our discussion for class. Good morning. All right, so here we are with today's objectives. We're going to be breaking down a culminating prompt. We're also going to create and complete an evidence collection chart to help gather textual evidence for the culminating response. Let's take a look at our do now. And you guys are familiar with because, but, and so. So we're asking that you complete each sentence below based on your understanding of the text. We will be looking for volunteers to share out directly after. This was some of you have already reviewed it and written down your responses. Number 1, we need flesh and blood heroes in the real world because, how would you complete that sentence? We need flesh and blood heroes in the real world, and we need flesh and blood heroes in the real world. So, how would you all complete these sentences? Go ahead and drop your responses in the comment section. Please be sure to number them so that we know which one you're replying to. Or give us a thumbs up if you would like to share out with the rest of the class by going live. Good morning. You guys are showing up. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. It's 4th quarter and we want to finish strong. Excellent.
All right, so let's start getting those comments down in the comment section for numbers 1, 2, or 3. Like Ms. O said, if you want to share, go ahead and give us a high five or a thumbs up.
And for those of you just joining us, we are on page 11 of packet 5. If you do not have the packet, you can write down your answers on a separate sheet of notebook paper. We are looking for some volunteers to join us by giving us a high five or a thumbs up to let us know you want to join us live. Okay, elaborate a little bit for us. They can set good role models. How? What do you mean by they can set good role models? Please explain your answer. Expand upon that idea. Okay, we have someone willing to volunteer.
All right, I'll pop you out.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. How are you? Hello?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you ready to share?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
We need flesh and blood heroes in the real world because a hero have great movements, culture, moments, and achievements.
Okay. Did you attempt number 2 or 3?
No.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Do we have another volunteer willing to share their answer? Thank you to the first student volunteer. Do we have one more volunteer to share their answer or drop your comment in the comment section for your answer?
Okay, thank you for sharing in the comments. Would anyone else like to give it a try? Thank you to our volunteer as well.
We're going to take one more minute before we start to share our answers.
Looking to see some more people drop their answers in the comment section. Don't forget, you receive credit from class participation by either joining us live or dropping your comments in the comment section to help us know that you are on target with what we're doing.
Good morning to those of you who just joined. We're in packet 5, page 11. We are reviewing the do now. About 30 more seconds before we go ahead and share our answers.
Okay, let's go. You guys are being quiet today. Hopefully, as we go along, you guys will join in. Number 1, we need flesh and blood heroes in the real world because they serve as models for all of us. Number 2, we need flesh and blood heroes in the real world, but at times we forget to acknowledge and appreciate them. We need flesh and blood heroes in the world so we can emulate their heroic character, choices, and actions more often. Again, flesh and blood just means a human being, someone just like us.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for those of you still dropping your comments in the comment section. Great job. We appreciate it. All right, now we're going to get ready to break down our prompt. And the first thing we know is we use a do what chart. So we would like for you guys to go ahead and create your do what chart. One side will be the do side, the other side is the what side. Right underneath is where you would write your summary sentence. Make sure you make it big enough so that you can put your points inside of the chart. And then you're going to break down what will go in each paragraph. What is paragraph 1? These are just one or a few word answers. Paragraph 2, 3, 4, and 5.
All right, so again, if you have the packet, page 12. If you don't have the packet, go ahead and draw this on a blank sheet of paper. And you always know that we try to clarify our vocabulary before we actually break down the prompt. So we are going to ask you to start clarifying the vocabulary that you see highlighted in the prompt. And Ms.
If you can just back it up just a little.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the prompt we have for today is, you have read real heroes inspiring true stories of courage, character, and conviction. Using details from the text, explain how this author defines the qualities of a real hero and the importance of real heroes to all of us. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that you guys understand the language being used in the prompt. So details is the first highlighted word, details from the text. What do we mean by details from the text? What are we looking for? What are we asking about? Please drop it in the comment section. Good morning to those of you joining us. We're now on page 12 of the packet. What do we mean by details from the text? What type of information? Thank you. Anyone else want to help? What do we mean by use details from the text? Some evidence, okay? And what do we mean when we say explain? What do we mean by explain how this author defines the qualities? Specific information, thank you. All right, what do we mean by explain? What do we want you to do? Okay, to show. Thank you. All right, to prove your answer, to show. Thank you, guys. All right, so we're going to use evidence from the text to show us how this author defines. So what do we mean by defines? To tell, thank you. What do we mean by defines? If you're defining something, what are you doing? Okay, to tell. All right, so we're using evidence from the text to show us how this author tells us or evaluates the qualities of a real hero. What do we mean by qualities? To give the meaning, thank you. What do we mean by qualities? What are qualities? Hello, good morning. What do we mean by qualities in this prompt? You guys are participating. Thank you so much. You will receive credit for your participation. Thank you for being involved in the discussion. What do we mean by qualities? Traits. Traits, okay. And then of a real hero. What do we mean by a real hero? What if I didn't know what the word traits meant? If I don't know what qualities means, and if I don't know what traits mean, how would I explain that? And what does a real hero mean? What is considered a real hero? What does it mean to be a hero? Thank you for your participation. What do we mean by a real hero? Okay, qualities. Okay, it's features. Thank you. To help people. Anything else before we go on to the last one? The personality or the looks, how they save others. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Doing goodness out of the kindness of their heart. Someone has been paying attention. Thank you. All right. And the last one is the importance of real heroes to all of us. You guys are on fire. Thank you. What do we mean by importance? What do we mean by importance of real heroes? You guys are awesome. Last one, what do we mean by importance? Meaningful. Okay, anyone else? Thank you.
Okay, we can go over it.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for your answers. We appreciate you.
All right, so here's our explanation. Details from the text. We're talking about direct quotes. If you explain something, you are telling If you define, you're explaining or describing. Qualities means traits. You guys were right on. Behaviors or features. And then a real hero is a person who holds an everyday job or career, and they exemplify great character and good traits. Importance just means significance or value. So let's begin breaking down our prompt. So now we know our verbs go on the do side. What is it they want us to do? And once we have identified what they want us to do, the one word verbs, then what do they want us to do with that verb? Go ahead and begin jotting down your answers. If you guys want to start filling in some of the responses in the comment section, you are more than welcome. If you have already broken down your prompt and you're ready to share live, please give us a thumbs up or a high five. You guys are on it this morning. Thank you. Hard work really does pay off. What are some of the verbs we want to see on the do side?
Okay, we got one student volunteer. Do we have any other student volunteers? And again, you also can drop your comments in the comment section.
Oh, looks like we have a new volunteer today.
Okay, I'm going to try to catch the student.
Okay.
All right. Cutting up. We're waiting on the student volunteer. The rest of you all can go ahead and drop your answers in the comment section. What goes on the do side? What goes on the what side? What's our summary sentence look and sound like? How do we break down our paragraphs at the bottom? Okay. I'm going to try to pull in another student. So I see using, I see explain. Where do they go? What side do they go on?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Are you ready to share?
I did the do what chart. I didn't finish writing setting up my paragraphs.
That's okay. You can go ahead and take us through the chart.
Okay. For the do what chart, first I put use, and then I put details from the text.
Mm-hmm.
And for the second one, I put explain how the author defines qualities of a real hero.
Where did you put explain?
I put explain on the do side.
Okay. And what about the last part, the importance of real heroes to all of us? Where does that part go?
Hold on. The what side?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's attached to the word explain. All right, so you'll be explaining two things. You'll be explaining how the author defines the qualities and the importance of these heroes to us and everyday people. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to go see if we can get one more student, and then we're going to go over it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Do we have any volunteers for the breakdown of the paragraph section or the summary sentence? Before I try to add Ms. O back, do we have any volunteers for the summary sentence and breaking down the paragraphs? All right, I see one student. I'm going to try to pop that one in real quick. Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Do I do the same thing of what he did, the what chart?
No, you can do either the summary sentence or the paragraph breakdown.
Okay. I will do the paragraph one.
Okay.
For paragraph one, I think it's the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And for paragraph two is the body one of the text of the
It is body 1, but what's the topic of that paragraph? What would the topic be?
How does the author define the quality and importance of heroes?
Very good. All right, so what about paragraphs 3 and 4?
For 3,
So that section of the prompt, it tells us to explain 2 things. You already said 1. You said we need to explain how the author defines the qualities of a real hero. What else do we need to explain?
And the importance of a real hero to all of us.
Yep. So that would be the topic of paragraph 3. It would also be the topic of paragraph 4 because we'll have more than one reason why heroes are important to us. And then what does our paragraph 5 look like?
The conclusion to
Good job. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm going to pop you out, pop Miss O back in. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Remember that participation makes the class. Without you, class would be much. Continue to drop your answers in. Thank you. And let's review really quickly.
Okay. So now on the do side, we should have use as our verb or using. And we should also have explain. What are we going to use? We're going to use the details from the text. What is it we're going to explain? We're going to explain how this author defines the qualities of a real hero and the importance of real heroes to all of us. How could we have summarized it? Write an essay that discusses how the author explains the qualities of real heroes and explain the significance of real heroes to everyone. Again, just as a review, first paragraph would be our intro paragraph. Second would be our body paragraph explaining how the author defines the qualities of a real hero with evidence. Second body paragraph 2 would be paragraph 3, but body 2 is explain one reason why real heroes are important to all of us with evidence. And again, in body 3, paragraph 4, we're going to explain another reason why real heroes are important to all of us with evidence. And lastly will be our conclusion where we recap the main points within our essay.
All right. So that is how we're going to break down our paragraph. Let's go ahead and get into our evidence collection chart. This is the main part of class today. If you have packet number 5, go ahead and turn to page 13. If you don't, go ahead and take out a sheet of paper and begin to draw the chart that you see in front of you. It should cover your entire page. And give us a thumbs up when you have this copied down so we know that we can move on.
And again, you're copying this on page 13 of packet 5 if you have the packet. If not, you're writing it on a separate sheet of paper. This is our evidence collection chart where we're going to gather all the information we need to respond to the prompt.
And we're dropping thumbs up and we're dropping high fives to let us know you can move on. Thank you. That's 2. We appreciate the number of people in class today. We're looking for at least 3 more thumbs up, 3 to 5 maybe before we move on.
Thank you.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. All right. So go ahead and get the words in. The main words should be claim, evidence, and reasoning. Sorry, everywhere. So this first part, how does the author define the qualities of a real hero? This would be us setting up for paragraph 2. And then at the bottom, we're setting up for paragraphs 3 and 4 with reason number 1 and reason number 2 of why real heroes are important to all of us. So once again, when you have this down, go ahead and give us a thumbs up.
And I'm going to go ahead and answer the question. Yes, this will be posted after class. All of our notes from what we do today will be posted after class. I know you guys were going to ask. Yes, it's going to be posted after class. But we do want you to go ahead and copy this down. Thank you.
So we have claim, evidence, reasoning, evidence, reasoning. So for our second paragraph, we're going to try to get at least 2 pieces of evidence. For our third and fourth paragraph, we are accepting 1 piece of evidence. If you find another, that's completely up to you. But for the sake of time in this chart, we're going to only insert 1 piece of evidence for our answer.
So what could I do if I wanted to shorten this? If I knew what the words were that goes there, I could put C, E, and R for claim, evidence, reasoning to make it easier to copy down for now. I could just put the first initial, C, E, and R, as long as I know what those letters stand for. Once you're done copying, please give us a thumbs up to let us know that we are ready to move on. For those of you just joining us, we are creating our evidence collection chart, and we are filling in what goes in that chart. Thank you.
Once again, we would like to have at least 5 thumbs up before we move on, because we're going to start inserting information here. This is the main part of our lesson. And this is what your essay is built upon. So let's make sure that we get this done. Thank you. Looking for at least 3 more. And you all, please don't forget to turn this work in. A lot of you do the work and you don't turn it in. For those of you who turned your work into the school, we picked those up already. And those grades will be in by Friday. So remember that all the hard work you're doing, please turn your work in. We're going to wait another 30 seconds before we move on. Okay. All right. So let's look at the very first box. Let's go up, make this wider. Go ahead and write this claim in. They asked us, how does the author define the qualities of a real hero? Sorry. Can you see that all the way, Ms. O, on your end?
Yes, the first box, yes.
Okay. So it says the author examines the attitude and actions to define qualities of a real hero. So we need 2 pieces of evidence. 2 pieces of evidence that shows how the author examined the attitude or the actions of these real heroes to define their qualities. All right. For those of you who sent your work, I have it in my email as well. Thank you, Mr. McMillan. All right. So we do need a student volunteer to read a paragraph to find our evidence. And in that paragraph, we're going to be looking for evidence of the attitude or actions of a real hero. Do we have a volunteer to read a paragraph really quickly?
Give us a high five or a thumbs up if you're willing to read on live with us. It's just 1 paragraph. We need 1 volunteer to read 1 paragraph. Who is our volunteer today? Thumbs up or high five if you are our volunteer. Good morning. Thanks for joining.
Okay, Ms. O, for the sake of time, I'm going to grab that student. Good morning again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, you ready to read?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Heroes don't squander their action that way. As someone once said, they don't borrow from integrity.
Wait. Are you looking at the screen?
No, I found my own text.
Go ahead and look at the screen and read this paragraph.
Oh. I reminded of the animated 1998 DreamWorks film Art
Ants.
Ants. The setting is an ant colony in which all ants are expected to behave as an obedient blob. No heroes to challenge conventional wisdom. No exceptional ants that might inspire vision or change in the orders. In the short run, this is a very
Convenient.
inspire vision or change in the others. Wait, very convenient for the trying ants, but their selfishness crew leaves the entire society vulnerable to
Mm-hmm.
attack. The debilitating collectivist mindset is shaken by a single ant who ultimately saves the colony through his individual initiative in risking everyone to assert his values and uniqueness. He transcends the blob and becomes a hero.
So, if we're looking at this paragraph and we know that we need evidence for the attitude or actions of a real hero, what sentence in this paragraph might be the strongest piece of evidence for us to pull? If we're looking for an example of a hero's actions or their attitude.
Okay. The blading collectivist mindset is shaken by
You got it. Keep going.
By a single ant who immediately saves the colony through his individual initiative. In risking everything to assert his values and uniqueness, he transcends the blob and becomes a hero.
Okay, so we're using this piece of evidence, correct?
Yes.
My question to you is, and if everyone can see that, sorry. My question to you is, what were the actions in this example? What actions did he portray that made him a hero?
It says there his values and uniqueness.
Okay, so he asserted his values and uniqueness, which means he stood up for what he believed in. Yes. What else? I see someone in the comments talking about how he transcends the blob. Yes, he does that by asserting his values and uniqueness. What else does he do?
He transcends.
So we got that.
No. His actions and attitudes.
His attitude. So let's look at this phrase, his individual initiative. All right. So when you take initiative, you're proactive. You put yourself out in the forefront for whatever cause you're fighting for. All right. And then he also took risk by doing all of this. We got it?
Yes.
So our reasoning, this piece of evidence would show what?
This piece of evidence shows how the author defines the qualities of a real hero.
This piece of evidence shows, we might say, the actions that a real hero displays. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going to pop you out. We appreciate your participation. Miss O, I'm popping you back in. Oh, we had a request. I'll just pull the student in for a request. So for homework, you need to find the second piece of evidence and also put in reasoning number 2. But we already have our first answer, our first piece of evidence, and our first explanation. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
All right. So we need your help completing the bottom half of our chart. So we have reason number 1. It says, why are real heroes important to all of us? Can you read our claim we have already?
Real heroes are important to all of us because they embody traits that inspire positive behavior in others.
All right. So now I'm going to have you also read from a paragraph, and you let us know what piece of evidence from this paragraph could we put in to support that answer that he gives us traits. Can you go ahead and read? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Heroes don't squander their character that way. As someone once said, they don't borrow from integrity to pay
Expediency.
What unites heroes across time periods and cultures is that they exemplify character through their words or actions. They embody traits like honesty, gratitude, intellectual humility, personal responsibility, self-discipline, and inventiveness,
entrepreneurship.
Yeah, vision, compassion, and optimism.
Keep going,
and they display these traits continually. The heroism of the people I profile arises not from a single momentary act, but rather from a lifetime of choices.
All right. So if we go back, like I said, to our claim, we said that real heroes are important to all of us because they embody these traits that inspire positive behaviors in us. What sentence from this paragraph best supports that claim?
What
should you be looking for?
Something that inspires others.
Okay, so traits that inspire other people. Now, so then what's the sentence we should be pulling?
They embody traits like honesty, gratitude, intellectual. Yeah, that sentence.
Okay. Thank you. Stay on the line. Stay on the line. Help us finish this part. So, and they display these, we're going to say continually. All right. So, what does this piece of evidence show?
It shows that they're inspiring others to act like them.
That's what this piece of evidence show?
Wait. Yeah. It's inspiring others to act like kind and like heroes.
Okay, so I would say this piece of evidence lists the traits that inspire others to behave, let's say, positively. Cool?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody else, including you all for homework, you need to find the second reason why real heroes are important to us with your own piece of evidence and your own reason or explanation. All right? Thank you so much, student volunteering. I'm going to pop you out. Appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ms. O, I'm popping you back in. So again, for homework, this chart should be completed. It's on page 13 of packet 5. We have one more thing to go over. Yes, again, this will be posted after class. We have one more thing to go over before we end class, which should be fairly easy because we've basically already done it. So if we're looking at page 14 now, page 14 gives you a chart that looks exactly like this to break down your paragraphs. But the thing is, you've already broken down your paragraphs. So essentially, the only thing you have to do is actually insert the answers for your writing into the chart. All right? So look something like this. We're going to go through this really quickly. Page 14, packet 5. If you have it, turn to it. If you don't, you can make this chart. Our introduction. Miss O, is that big to you or should I?
You can bring it a little closer if you're focusing on that one box at a time. That's good.
Okay. So for our introduction, we already know we introduced the title and the author of the text. That's one sentence. Then right after that, our next 2 sentences should be what the text is about. And then state the purpose of the text. A lot of you all hit the DMs after class and ask what the purpose of the text is. The purpose of the text is what they give you in the prompt, to explain how the author defines the qualities of a real hero and to explain why real heroes are important to all of us. So your first paragraph should look like you stating the title and the author, you telling us what the text is about, and then telling us the purpose of the essay, which are these 2 bullet points here. This is your entire first paragraph. Okay? Now, when we get to paragraphs 2 through 4, sorry, again, you've already done this work. Your main idea is to explain how the author defines the qualities of a real hero with evidence, or a real hero, sorry. But you already did that when we answered the question in our chart. We said the author examines attitude and actions to define the qualities of a real hero. So instead of you writing this part, you just write your answer in, just like you only write your answer in for the introduction. We've already found our first piece of evidence for this answer when we just completed the chart above. So you can put that piece of evidence in and then also add your other piece of evidence and explain it. And then that section would be complete. Okay? When we get to paragraph 3, once again, we did this answer. This is the one that Ms. Fleming just went over when they embodied traits. So you wouldn't put this answer anymore. You put your actual answer that we just wrote down. And then Ms. Fleming found a piece of evidence already that we could insert into our main details part. And then you would go ahead and explain your evidence, or you can find a different piece of evidence if you want. You do not have to use the evidence that we found together. Same thing for paragraph 4. That's you finding another reason why real heroes are important to all of us. You'll put your actual answer there and 1 or 2 pieces of evidence that you find to support it. Lastly is your conclusion, and it's the main point between paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. The main point that you stated. So basically you're restating your claims in paragraph 5. Please give us a thumbs up or go ahead and ask your questions now while we have 4 minutes left, because we're just going to give you the exit slip and then review your homework. So if you have any questions on the evidence collection chart or any questions about the multiple paragraph outline, go ahead and drop them now or give us a thumbs up so we know that we can move on. We understand that this is a lot, but it's pretty easy. You really just have to do the writing because we did the majority in class. Looking for at least 5 thumbs up before we move on. If you have any questions, please drop them now. Yes, everything will be posted in class. After class, sorry. Mm-hmm. Any more thumbs up? Any questions? Are we understanding what we need to write about? Okay. Thank you. All right. So our exit slip. You all do get credit for your exit slip. Please respond via video or audio in our DMs. 2 questions. You need to respond to both. How do you strive to be a hero in your local community? And what have you learned from flesh and blood heroes and or imagined ones? So this week we read about flesh and blood heroes. Last week we read about imagined ones. What have you learned from either? All right, so this is your exit slip for today. If you have the packet, this is on pages 15 and 16 because there, I believe, are 10 questions in total. But for your exit slip for class today, you just need to respond to 2. All right. And then Miss O.
Yes. All right, so your homework, which is due by May the 12th at 9 a.m., you are to complete your evidence collection chart on page 13. You are to complete the multiple paragraph outline on page 14. You should write your essay on pages 18 and 19. And you need to DM all your completed work to either myself or Ms. Simmons, or as you know, you can drop packets off at Baloo, but it has to be before the deadline, and it can only be on weekdays between 10 and 2, where you can drop off your work. But you can send it, take a picture of it, and send it to us in the DM.
One more reminder. If you all have not already re-enrolled, please go re-enroll or have your parents re-enroll. They can do that online. I forget the URL to do it, so I'll post that right after class too. Ms. O, do you remember the URL?
No.
For enrollment? So we'll post that right after class, but please remind your parents to enroll as soon as possible. Okay.
If you guys plan on coming back to Hart next year for 8th grade, we need you guys to enroll to let us know that you are coming back. So this is something that is going to be done online only this year. There will not be a paper version. Thank you so much for helping us out. The link is down here. This is where you guys will go. Enroll dcps.dc.gov. Again, we'll post it after class, but we do need you guys to do so. Are there any questions before we let you guys go? Any questions?
We really appreciate you all's participation today. Please make sure you come to class for the remainder of the quarter. Goodbye, Mr. Lopez.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to end it. Thanks, Ms. L. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, students.